Good morning, and thank you for joining us down here in the basin. It is June 12th, 2016, and it's hot as balls. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a look at the aquaponics system, which is right back here, looking at some of the things we do in the summertime to cut down on the heat and things of this nature. It's actually not too bad today. I think it's 101 or 102 today. Which is relatively mild, and we can handle that compared to last weekend's 115 or 116 that snuck up on us out of nowhere. But in terms of the aquaponics system, we've had some issues with some fish dying. We finally got that under control. We think we've got the problem fixed and figured out why our fish kept dying. We've done water changes, food changes, things like that, monitoring everything. I think we had a little bit of issue with the temperature swings we were having, but now that the temperatures are about the same, and they're only going to get hotter, which is what it is, I think we're back on track for at least the summertime. We'll have to reevaluate when the weather starts cooling down again. But we have reintroduced some more fish. We are nowhere near the number of fish we need. We just threw 3 larger koi in the other day. Now I say large from the pet store, and I'll show you because I have one absolutely massive koi in there that just is a monster. So we'll take a look at that. In terms of what our water's at, I don't know what the water temperature is right now. We'll take a look when we get up there. pH is sitting about 7.3, 7.5, depending on what time of the day it is and what the temperature is. Ammonia is low. That just is what it is because we have probably close to, I don't know, 300 plus gallons of water, and we only got about 6 fish. So we don't really have enough ammonia to drive the system yet. But our goal over the next couple of weeks is to introduce some more fish into the system, make sure everything goes as planned, so that we don't lose them like we did with our last batch. But there are small traces of ammonia. There are small traces of nitrate and nitrite. And the plants seem to be doing very well. The radial flow filter is doing the deal. We don't have to empty it out as often since we don't have as many fish in there. But we still pump that into the garden box right over here, which has been doing phenomenal for us. I'm actually going to make some tomato sauce when I'm done here with the 7 or 8 pounds of tomatoes that I got again this weekend, which is absolutely insane. But overall, it's summertime. We got a lot of free time. We're working on the aquaponics, trying to get it all dialed in and see if we can get producing some things. So what we still have in there right now in the 2 grow beds, we still got Swiss chard, which is doing very, very well. We have some Amish paste saucing tomatoes, which are doing pretty well. The basil has started. I just got in a few days ago. They're little mini plants, but they look good, as well as the pepper that's on its way to hopefully producing some little mini lunchbox bell peppers for us. So very happy with where everything is at right now. I'm just hoping that it continues. We can get some more fish into the system and go from there. So what we're gonna do right now, let's go take a look and see what we got cracking. So here we are, side yard. Under the deal we have southwestern exposure. A couple of things that we do in the summertime, especially when we're out back. One, we have our fan going all the time, just kind of makes the air not stale. But when we're out here, these little bad boys are phenomenal. Little evap cooler, it does the trick. And it keeps it cool right here, cools everything off a little bit so that you don't fry. Fish tank, cover on it. We moved our air pump. We had our air pump up here. We now have it over here. And this one we're using for something else I'll show you. But we just got 1 stone going into the deal. It seems like enough. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So there's that big fucker. And then you can see the other little koi we got. Fish tank looks good. Little goldfish down in the bottom. But like I said, we're in the process of reintroducing fish into the system. So that's good. See where we're sitting. 78. It's not bad. Probably get up to, depending on how hot it is today, 83, 84. But we're looking good right there. The slow does the trick. That big fish does move it, but that's okay. We go out of there and then we'll take a look at the radial flow filter, which we still have right here, is working fantastic. We took one of the Dutch bucket setups, which I had in an earlier video, but I didn't think it was quite right for it yet. But we got 2 basil plants in here, and the basil love the aquaponics. So they're doing far better than they were when I put them in there. It does the trick. This just sits right in the top of our radial flow filter, just like if you were doing some top drip buckets. So this is just a top drip little deal from Hydro Farm or Hydrologic or something like that. But hopefully we can get some basil. I've been slacking on the basil. Normally we have basil, but not this year for some reason. There's our drain into our sump. Water evaporation has been an absolute fucking nightmare because it's hot as balls. But we've got our, let's see, our 2 drains. And they're both going. Auto bell siphons, which do the trick. There, that one's stopped. That one's doing the deal. We just add water on the regular every day, every other day to keep it going. From out of there, we got our pump back to the fish tank, and then up into our grow beds. So in the first grow bed, we've got our Swiss chard, which is still doing fantastic. It's great to have with the lettuce, or the tomatoes and cucumbers that we're getting out of the garden box. Here's one of our Amish paste tomatoes. This is a saucing type of tomato. Not too bad. It's coming along. It's doing very well, I think. Better than it was, considering. So very pleased with all of that. We have them in these aqua pouches. All I did was, when I started this tomato plant, I put it down at where the water level would be. Fucking palm tree. And then I filled it up to give it more support, and it seems to be doing the trick. Neighbor's got a palm tree. These things are fucking everywhere. I can't stand it. So that's doing well, but our 2 chard plants are doing well. Take a look. Bell siphon. This one I've been using in a lot of my stuff. It works really well. Holes. We've got our extra air deal. This one's really small compared to the other one that I'll show you. That's just a 1/2 inch. It works though. Very reliable. I dig it. Over in the other garden box, or grow bed, similar deal. We've got aqua pouches. Here's our small bell pepper that's starting to finally come along. And we got 2 more of the Amish paste tomatoes. One here and one here. This bell siphon's a little different. Far simpler, because as you can see, or not, that's 1 inch. Just holes. Inch in with a uni seal. And it does the trick. But everything seems to be going very well. We got more time to spend, so we can kind of dial it in, get it working. One of the other things that we do in the summertime is our shade cloth. This is a 50% shade cloth. It really does the trick. It seems to drop the temperature a good 8-10 degrees underneath it. You still get a lot of light, and it's on Amazon. I fucking love Amazon, which is great. But yeah, just a look from the other side. Hydroton doing the trick all the way through. No aqua pouch, aqua pouch. We'll take a look at the difference, see if they're worth it or not. They were gifted to me, so I figured we'd try. Drain, or inlet, inlet. Doing it up, basil. And see, as this grows, we'll fill this one up like we did with that one, and we'll go from there. But very pleased with everything in the aquaponics and how it's going. We're going to introduce some more fish, keep monitoring everything, and hopefully we can get it all up and running. But very pleased with what we got here. Obviously, it's not as good as the garden box, but it is what it is. We combine the both and go from there. But let's just back up, take a look at the shade cloth again. That's what we're looking at. 1-inch PVC pipe. They work great. Wind hasn't snapped them or anything. None of it's glued together. And then the shade cloth, which is awesome. Yeah, no complaints. Just gonna keep plugging away, giving everything a go, and go from there. Oh, let's turn these bubbles on and see what we get here. Take a look. Bubbles are pretty good. One little stone does the trick at the bottom. And yeah, it's good shit. Working up a sweat out there. But once again, thank you for tuning in, checking us out, seeing what we got going on our little slice of paradise down in the basin, our little garden. Remember, grow your own food. Learning is fun. You like what you like, you would like to continue along our epic journey of aquaponics exploration, please hit the subscribe button. If you're interested and you'd like to see other things we got going on in the garden, you can check us out at our Facebook page, Seeds to Sprout, as well as on Instagram at Seeds to Sprout as well. You have any comments, questions, concerns, always welcome. Please leave in the box below. And once again, thank you for tuning in and checking out what we got going down here on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Thanks again.